Hey everybody, Dawn McGee here, your wellness strategist and nutrition evangelist, and all month long I am talking about travels. So I've been talking about my trip to India that's coming up, and I'm heading out of town next week. And I haven't really finished packing yet. To be honest, I don't have any clothes in my suitcase whatsoever. Normally, I check the weather forecast, I pick out my clothes, I toss them in, I pack my supplements and my food, and toss it in, and I'm ready to go, right? Because I keep my toiletries pre-packed. So let me talk about some of the systems that I use when packing and how I'm doing things a little bit differently, where this is a more complicated travel trip, right? Some of my systems stay the same consistently throughout all of my trips. One is I have a pre-packed toiletry bag. I fill up my little bottles when I get home from a trip, so I don't have to, that doesn't have to be one more thing I do when I'm planning for my next trip. Um, so that's all ready to go. I've got that. Second thing I do is about a week and a half ahead of time, I pre-pack my food and my supplements. Obviously, nothing's perishable. I'm packing it in my suitcase. There are things like collagen packets, my bars, um, portion out little baggies of shake mix so that I can make that for this trip to India because I know that it's going to be hot there and I'm not sure exactly about what we're going to be doing and access to food and all the things. I'm bringing enough for 3 fill-in grab and goes each day. A bar, a shake, and a couple of packets of collagen, fruits, things that I can easily transport that don't need refrigeration and I can eat when it's time for me to eat so that I continue living on my PFC3 schedule regardless of where I am, right? Because that matters to me. That keeps me feeling good. It keeps my blood sugar stable. It keeps me healthy. All of the things that are really important when I travel. So those are my standard systems. And what I'm doing this time, because as I said, it's a little bit more complicated trip. I showed you some of the toys that I bought last week, like my Grail water bottle, so that I can have filtered water that I can drink. I've packed extra electrolytes because of the heat. I've packed extra probiotics because the balance, the bacterial balance in the water in India is different than what my system is used to, and I'm going to need some help. My system is going to need some help to stay in balance. Extra help, I should say. Um, so those are some of the things that I've added to my systems. Now for my clothes, I have started to pick out what I'm going to wear, making sure that I've got weather appropriate clothes. Assuming there's going to be some air conditioning inside, it's going to be super hot outside. I'm going to be in a variety of activities. There are going to be pools in the hotels that I'm staying at, so some of those things I've already started to put aside. Got the bathing suit ready, I've got the sun hat ready, I've got my sunscreen, I've got bug spray, all of those things that I might not normally bother to bring with me if it wasn't such a hot and sunny climate. And then I've got a mixture of professional clothes for the meetings I'm going to be in and relaxing clothes for weekend and evening trips and whatnot. So those are, I will say, 75% picked out, ready to go. And what I'm going to do over the next day or two is start to pack them. Now, I like to roll my clothes. I'll pick the outfit out for the day, everything that I need, right down to my socks, and roll them up so that I can put little rolls of clothes into my suitcase. Reduces the wrinkling. I'm not a big fan of ironing, let's be honest, and so it reduces any maintenance that I have to do when I get to places. I'm going to be in 2 different hotels, and so I don't have to unpack everything at one hotel. I don't have to worry about it. I will put the clothes for later in the trip at the bottom layer in the suitcase, and the clothes that I'm going to wear on the first half of the trip on the top layer of the suitcase, so I can leave it as is. I will also bring a couple of sort of recyclable bags, plastic bags, that I can pack dirty clothes in since I'm moving from one place to another, so they don't have to worry about any of that. I don't have to be confused by what's dirty and what's clean and what I can wear and all of those things. And these are some of the systems that make it easier for me to travel. so that I know that when I am ready to head to the airport, I've done all of the prep work that I need to do to have a fun and healthy and safe trip. Some of the other things, if you're going to a place that needs a visa, right? I did that ahead of time. I've got a copy of that on my phone digitally. I've printed out a copy. It's with my passport. These take a copy of your passport page and keep a copy of that picture on your phone as well. Make sure that you've got arrangements for airport pickups if you're not using public transportation or grabbing an Uber. Because I'm arriving at all sorts of odd times, I've made arrangements with the hotels to pick me up at the airport. So I know that I've got transportation and I don't have to worry about that. So these are some of the systems. I am 90% ready to go. And and once I leave the house, I just know that my systems will carry me through the trip. I've got all the stuff prepared for a variety of different situations, right? I've got a little extra food. I'll have some extra clothes, um, stuff like that. Hopefully that's helpful to you. I know it's vacation season coming up, whether you've got a simple trip or a complicated trip. I encourage you to think about what systems would serve you so that you get to enjoy the trip while you're there as much as possible. You don't have to worry about anything else. So, until next week, what I hope for you as always is that you live a life you love without being hungry, feeling deprived, or giving up the things that bring you joy. And just know that next time you see me, I will be broadcasting from India. Until then, ciao.